And Alex, what I'm hearing from my LASD sources tonight is that the victims of this brutal double murder were a brother and a sister in their 60s. And this case is really disturbing because what we're being told is that the person who called 911 was live on Zoom with that female victim and actually witnessed her being attacked and dragged out of the room. But by the time deputies got here, all they found were 2 bodies. A brutal and graphic double murder scene in Altadena Monday night. A deceased man in his 60s, dead in the driveway with multiple stab wounds. It happened at a home in the 3100 block of Marengo Avenue, where a deceased woman in her 60s was found inside, also with multiple stab wounds. And the details of this double murder are terrifying.
The person on the Zoom call is the one that called 911.
Lieutenant Barry Hall of LASD's Homicide Bureau tells Fox 11 the 911 caller was actually Zooming with the female victim when she could hear a commotion in another room as the male was being attacked.
The lady was still talking on the Zoom when the male was dragged out of the house. That alerted her. Then the suspect went inside and attacked her. The person who on the Zoom call actually saw part of the incident occur.
She called 911 to report a kidnapping in progress, but by the time deputies arrived, both victims were deceased with traumatic injuries.
Since we arrived here at the location, a person of interest returned to the scene in the victim's vehicle, and he has since been detained. We're not calling him a suspect at this point, just a person of interest.
Relatives showed up here on scene as well, and she was very emotional, as she should be. And in speaking with her, it was people that she knows. Maybe a domestic violence situation. I don't know. This is just bad. You live here and you don't expect to have tape and helicopters and this.
Detectives tell us they don't think they've ever had a case like this, where a murder was partially caught on a video conferencing app. And locals are still stunned that this could happen so close to their home.
Somebody is destroyed. Multiple people are destroyed by this. Your life will never be the same. And I don't understand why so much violence. Why so much? It's got to end.
And the latest out here tonight, the victims in this case, the brother and the sister, they have not yet been identified. However, as for that person of interest, what we were told is he did return to the scene here in one of the victims' cars, and he later claimed that he lived at their house. What my sources are telling me is that person of interest is the son of that female victim, and while he is not being called a suspect right now, I'm told by investigators they're not looking for anybody else, and it does sound like an arrest is going to be imminent here. We're live in Altadena tonight. Bill Malugin, Fox 11 News.